Isn't it interesting that there is not one single person on the planet that is perfect? Like, have you ever thought about the fact that there is nobody that's perfect? We're all born into this world with imperfection and with baggage and with traumas. And then from the moment that we're born into this world, we're all getting all these types of traumas, whether it's major or minor. Everyone still gets them. And these problems are scars that affect us literally for the rest of our lives until we do the shadow work, uncover it, heal ourselves, forgive. Like, why do we all relate in this way? Why do we all come in with baggage? It's interesting, but it's also helpful to know that we all have something that we need to work on. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Rojosa, and if this is the first time you're seeing my face, welcome. It's so nice to have you. If you're looking to be inspired on how to transform your life mentally, physically, holistically, and spiritually, then you've made it to the right channel, and trust me, you're gonna wanna subscribe below. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the real reason you should even bother getting into spirituality, studying it, practicing it, incorporating it into your everyday life. Like, why? Why should you do it? I got inspired to film this video by actually an Impaulsive episode, and it was the episode where they had on the guest Sadhguru, a Indian yogi, and one of the co-hosts, Mike, asked him, why should I even bother with this stuff? You know, it sounds all nice and fairy tale and peace and love and all of that, but I have bills to pay. I have obligations in my life. I live an actual life. I don't have time to go out to a mountain and meditate all day. Now, he didn't say exactly that, but he said something along the lines of that, and I thought that was really funny, but at the same time, I was like, is this really what people think that being spiritual is? Because that is not the case. But nonetheless, the question is a really valuable one, because most people are just normal people. I'm just a normal person. We're all just normal people out here trying to make a living, trying to do something with our lives. And I feel like this way of thinking is what kind of scares people away from spirituality, because they think, I don't have time for that. I got more important things to do. And look, that's valid. That's completely understandable. So my goal for this video is to provide practicality for those everyday people like you, like me, can practically incorporate a spiritual practice into our everyday life and how it really benefits us. So here's the thing. I believe you can live your life in two ways. The first way is by being intentional with your choices and with your life. You can be the creator of your life, controlling and manipulating your life in order to fulfill your desires and also adding to the world in a positive way. And by intentionally being the co-creator of your life, you're doing this with awareness and ultimately happiness. Now, the second way that you can live your life is by being a victim of circumstances. You can let life beat you down to the ground because everything's random, nothing matters, and I am not in control of my life whatsoever. You can be the cause of your life, or you can be the effect of your life. Which one would you rather be? Now, if you're living your life intentionally and spirituality is actually your number one priority, then every other area of your life naturally begins to align and fall into place, because you have taken the power back from the universe and put it into yourself so that you're in higher alignment. One of the teachers at the Kabbalah Center named David Guillaume said, well, I don't know exactly what he said, I don't want to butcher it, but he said something along the lines of, you can either answer the email from your boss or call the lawyer or whatever it is that your stressful situation is. You can either react in a state of stress, a state of reactiveness and fear, and then you're letting that outside factor, which is the lawsuit or the boss or whatever it is that the bad news is that came to you, you can either handle that in that reactive state, or that's being the effect of your life. But then on the other hand, what happens if you're the creator of your life is you realize, okay, this situation happened to me, but I'm still in control of what I do next. So I'm going to, number one, just stop for a moment, don't react, take a deep breath, and just zoom out for a moment. Try to get a better perspective, a better look and angle on your situation right now. Because most of the time, let's be real, our egos go into this entire dialogue that may or may not be true. Most of the time it's not true, but what happens is we allow it to overcome us and we end up in a way worse position than we originally started in. And why is that? Is because you reacted out of stress, out of anger, out of a low vibrational state, rather than a high vibrational one. So the high vibrational one would be to pause and just take in the situation and assess what is the right move. So once you do all that, you really assess your situation, think about it, take out the personal attachment to the outcome, and what will happen is you actually have now the opportunity to contact the right lawyers, to respond in a way to your boss where maybe you actually won't lose your job. And that's really what it's all about. Learning the tools to help make your daily life better with less of a struggle, because the truth is outside struggles are always going to happen, but how we react to it is either from a state of low vibration or a higher vibration and clarity, understanding, and awareness. Spirituality really is simply just bringing in more awareness into your life. It truly is actually very practical. Eckhart Tolle stated it beautifully when he said something along the lines of, you're not lowering your conscious awareness when you spend time clearing your mind. Rather, you are raising your awareness so you can see things more clearly. And that's why people who meditate more often are peaceful. Because what people would tend to think is that if you stop thinking, you're actually gonna be less smart. But the truth is, it's just that logical mind that we're toning down a bit, and what happens is our true universal intelligence comes up. We actually become more aware of what to do next, what our next move should be, instead of trying to control it so much with our egoic mind. When we let go of those egoic thoughts, our truer self can come up to the surface and shine light on what the truth of the situation really is. Now, life is really a perfect system. Most of the time when we're overstressing and overthinking, there really is nothing to worry about, but it's encoded in our biology and our DNA that we get into this fight or flight response and we make everything seem like it's life or death. If I don't get this job, it's life or death. If I lose this friend or boyfriend, it's life or death. If I don't get this material thing now, then my whole status reputation is gonna fall and I'm gonna die. That's literally how our brain works. So our mind, which we think is so logical, kind of gets a little bit illogical sometimes, don't you think? So the reason that I think it's important to think about these deep philosophical things or think about life in a spiritual way is because it brings more perspective to the small problems. When you zoom out and see, okay, yeah, this is a big deal, but actually it's actually not a big deal at all. No, it's not. None of it matters, and not in like a sad way, but in an enlightening and liberating way. Nothing really matters that much to where I should be so emotionally attached to the outcome. It's not about forgetting that your obligations exist, okay? Make sure you understand this loud and clear. Still do your obligations. Still be in the physical world and do the things you need to do. Go to work, do whatever you need to do, but do it from a higher awareness. Know why you're doing what you do. The whole purpose is to find balance in life. Spirituality, yes, it gives tools and it gives perspective, but it doesn't shove your life to the side, and it definitely doesn't take away your problems. If some spiritual teacher you don't resonate with, that's okay. You don't need to resonate with everybody that you listen to. You don't have to like everybody that you listen to. Follow what you're interested in, follow what you're passionate about, and go from there. Go with the flow from there. You don't need to force anything that doesn't feel right to you. The whole purpose of learning spirituality is to make you happy. If it's not making you happy, if it's making you more stressed out, then there could be a bunch of reasons for that. Maybe you just don't resonate with the teachings. Maybe you need a one-on-one coaching, or maybe it just doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay. Find what does help you feel more happy, and ideally what makes you happy in the long term rather than just instant gratification, short-term pleasures. It's not easy. The last thing I want to say is that I don't want to come across as if I'm naive to the pain and suffering that's in this world, and that there is way more going on in life than to just say, do spirituality, be happy, everything's going to be perfect. It's just not the case. Spirituality is not going to take your problems away. Spirituality gives you tools to work through your life issues and problems and helps you tackle them from a higher state of awareness. Isn't it interesting that there is not one single person on the planet that is perfect? Like, have you ever thought about the fact that there is nobody that's perfect? We're all born into this world with imperfection and with baggage and with traumas and with mental issues. And then from the moment that we're born into this world, we're all getting all these types of traumas, whether it's major or minor. Everyone still gets them. And these problems are scars that affect us literally for the rest of our lives until we do the shadow work, uncover it, heal ourselves, forgive. Like, why do we all relate in this way? Why do we all come in with baggage? It's interesting, but it's also helpful to know that we all have something that we need to work on. So because nobody's perfect, there are going to be areas, different areas for all of us, in which we need to heal ourselves or improve in some sort of way in order to reach our ultimate desired happiness. That's all for me in this video, guys. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, please leave it a like and subscribe down below, hit the bell button, and leave a comment what was the most valuable thing you got out of this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!